Yo, what's going on, guys? So today we're going to be checking out an illegal Yu-Gi-Oh move in action. And I was thinking for myself, it's been so long since I've seen anyone even sent in an illegal move. I mean, this is years and years ago. Galactic God has a really cool series called Illegal Moves. Big shout out to Galactic God. And if you're an OG Yu-Gi-Oh player, drop a like on this video if you know who I'm talking about. But man, it's been so long since I've covered any illegal moves in Yu-Gi-Oh! In fact, I want to say that Galactic God really had a really good hold on this series over here. But anyways, we've got a new one, so let's go ahead and check it out. Now, if you guys don't know what an illegal move is, I'm going to go ahead and explain it really quick because it's important for the video. An illegal move is something to make the game cause itself to go into a state where there is no resolution, meaning it just goes on forever, so it's an infinite. Now, sometimes there are plays where it would start off being legal, but then it turns out to be an illegal move, and you might wonder, well, how does that even work, right? So it's based off of sometimes being RNG. You will see very soon what the idea is behind this deck in order to go ahead and pull this off. So what it usually involves is some type of card mechanic where something moves infinitely. Now, you could argue that you would run into time and then something would happen, which that can happen with some infinite loops, which would happen where you're causing the game to go into a state where you're still basically infinite looping, timing your opponent out, which is still technically kind of considered a illegal move, but in some circumstances, as long as you are able to activate something, you are still able to do something, as long as it's able to, I guess, fully resolve and you're doing something. A lot of times it's like bringing back a monster, send it to the graveyard, then it dies and it comes back. There's a lot of loops, Gear Free to Iron Knight, that kind of stuff, right? But what this loop is going to involve is actually the Morphing Jar number 2. So what it does is, if you guys don't know what this card does, is how he works is, it's a flip effect. You shuffle all monsters on the field in the deck. Then each player excavates cards from the top of the deck until they excavate the same number of monsters they shuffled into their main deck. Special summon all excavated level 4 or lower monsters in face down defense position. So he's going to be able to resummon all, but all attacks automatically flips up all of those monsters. Now, the idea behind this was to Des Koala. As long as your opponent happened to have a card, you'd be able to go ahead and deal burn damage. For those of you guys that don't know what the heck that card does, I have to actually go to it real quick. So Des Koala has a flip effect where it inflicts 400 burn damage to your opponent. I guess this was the original, potentially the original idea of this deck. So as long as you happen to have at least one Morphing Jar and one Des Koala, you would infinitely flip. I think that was the original intent of this, but since Des Koala is gone, Morphing Jar number 2 will go ahead and resummon Morphing Jar number 2, which will then resummon Morphing Jar number 2, and all attacks makes it so if a monster special summon while this card is face up on the field, change that monster to face up attack person, and it must attack if able during the turn they are special summoned. So the opponent never really gets to go ahead and get out their cards, because it's technically all, well, if I can mouse over the Morphing Jar here, you're shuffling all of them, then each player goes ahead and excavates. So maybe it could be considered a deck out too, but what happens with the game is it causes an infinite loop to actually break the game. So like, there's really nothing you can do other than close the game, because the game doesn't actually know what to do. There are some times where the CPUs in the actual Yu-Gi-Oh games will actually cause this infinite state loop with Light and Darkness Dragon. There are some really interesting things that will cause infinite loops too. It's on the Nintendo DS. If any of you guys are real OG Yu-Gi-Oh players, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this would be considered a illegal move in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's been so long since anyone has sent this in, so big shout outs to my homie Teriyaki. Nothing else is going to happen in this game. It's literally an infinite loop, an illegal move to cause the game to actually break in Yu-Gi-Oh! But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this little unique idea, and if you guys have any other crazy illegal moves, feel free to go ahead and send them in, as there's obviously newer cards within the last, I don't know, last time I checked out the videos, it was like 5 or 6 years old, and we've gotten obviously a lot more new cards, so I'm sure there's a lot more broken and illegal moves that have came out in Yu-Gi-Oh! But this is kind of more just Yu-Gi-Oh! History, and I just like that idea of a series, honestly, so maybe we'll do more of these in the future. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did and you learned something new, drop a like on this video, and if you are new here and you want to see more of these broken illegal moves in Yu-Gi-Oh!, hit subscribe, turn that bell, and you may see some more in the future, although they are quite rare, as most of the cards these days, they come out and their effects are always once per turn, but you never know with Yu-Gi-Oh! Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.